right? That He will establish them in the earth, and He will replace for them, this is Allah's promise to those who believe, He will replace for them after their time of fear, a time of peace and safety. What does Iman bring? It brings amn. What is amn? Safety. And you know the surah began by swearing by this city. What's the other attribute of this city? وَهَذَا الْبَلَدِ الْأَمِينَ. Iman and Aman are directly connected to each other. So the real solution, you turn to Allah, and Allah will send barakat from the sky, and Allah will, by means of His revealed justice and His revelation, create a society in which these problems are properly dealt with. Now look, historically speaking, when the society of Iman was established, was it not the case that the hungry and the poor and the yatim and the maqraba and the miskin and the matraba were taken care of? Think about the rule of Umar radiallahu anhu. Where did that come from, that solution? What political theory or constitution brought that out? What was the root source of that entire situation? That was Iman. That was Iman. So at the end of this, thumma, thereafter, what did he become? What was the conclusion? كَانَ مِنَ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. He became from those who had actually believed. He came to Iman. And then وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. And then after they became from those who believed, he became from those who believed, then they, see, kana was singular. Kana was singular. It's not kanu. Kanu would have been they became from those who believed. But it says kana min alladhina amanu. He became. He was now from the one who believed. But then immediately there's a switch to the plural, وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. It's not وَتَوَاصَى بِالصَّبْرِ. Tawasa would have been singular. Tawasaw, they enjoined each other. Meaning, when you become a person of Iman, necessarily you join in the ranks of other believers. You are not in this struggle to help humanity alone. Now you are part of a larger struggle, a communal struggle of believers. This is what's happened to you. By the way, the previous surah hinted towards it. Even in Jannah, فَادْخُلِي fi ibadi, enter in the company of my slaves. Even the work of this deen is in the company of slaves. Tawasaw, they encourage each other. The word wasiyya is to leave a will or a legacy, right? Tawasi is to advise and to motivate and to encourage and to counsel one another. To advise, motivate, encourage, and counsel one another. So now what's happening is they've become believers, but the situation still looks hopeless. So what do they have to do? They have to counsel each other. They have to advise each other. They have to keep each other motivated. Motivated to be what? Bis-sabr. Bis-sabr. Bis-sabr is understood in two ways here. By the way, what does sabr mean? It means patience, commitment, consistency, and constancy. 4 things at least, okay, that are in English that are not captured in one word. Arabic says sabr, but in English you have to understand 4 distinct attributes of sabr. Those are patience, right? That's the most common translation. Consistency, meaning you're doing something but you're doing it consistently. That's sabr. Okay. Then constancy, meaning no matter if it's hard or difficult, you are constant in your commitment finally. So you're constant and you're committed to whatever that causes. So they enjoined on each other and they did whatever they could to encourage and counsel each other to remain constant. To remain constant. The other thing is, bis sabr could be hal al-fi'l. In other words, what it could be, it is with commitment that they keep counseling each other. So once again, in simple language, I'll say 2 things. They counsel each other to patience and perseverance and commitment. And it is with commitment and consistency that they continuously counsel each other. These are the 2 implications of وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. Why as-sabr? Because this task of climbing this hill is difficult, isn't it? That's already captured in the word al-aqaba. So you might start losing hope. So there has to be someone else that says, come on, you can do this. A little more to go. Come on, we can handle this. We'll help each other. This is tawasi bis-sabr. Now, in the passage that's the context of the ayat, let's look at one more thing. The things that we were told that are the uphill climb among the humanitarian causes. Why is it that the kuffar were not inclined to do so? Because they were greedy. They didn't have patience they didn't have the self-restraint to not take the wealth for themselves. تَأْكُلُونَ التُّرَاثِ لَا تَحَضُّونَ عَلَى طَعَامِ الْمِسْكِينِ. These were their problems. So what's the first thing they have to be told? You have to be patient. And part of patience is you restrain the desires of yourself for the sake of another. It takes sabr. So he becomes one of sabr really after he has iman. Then وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْمَرْحَمَةِ. Beautiful word. The word marhama doesn't just mean mercy, that is the word rahmah. Rahmah means mercy. They enjoined each other, encouraged each other, and counseled each other for the sake of universal mercy. Marhama means mercy that goes in every direction. Mim masdari makes it powerful. Mercy for everyone and everything. So what is the ultimate mercy in this surah? It is Iman, number one. That is the ultimate mercy. And if you have that mercy, now you'll have concern for humanity. And I want to tie these two things together, inshallah ta'ala. The decent human being that is listening to this call for human concern is concerned about the welfare of other people. Isn't that the case? What's the ultimate welfare for another human being? You fed him today and tomorrow and took care of him, but what if he still ended up in the hellfire? What if he became from Ashabul Mash'ama that are being mentioned at the end of this surah? That's not mercy enough. What is real mercy? You take care of their needs today and you take care of their needs for tomorrow. That day where some of them will be saying, Ya laytani qaddamtu li hayati, you feed them for that day too. You give them the food they will need to survive then also. So that is marhama. Real, it's not just immediate mercy, it's this profound universal mercy that they encourage each other to. Ulaika ashabul maymana. Those are in fact the people on the far, well off to the right. Ashab al-Yameen to the right. Al-Maymana far to the right. Meaning they're safe from the center and tipping the other way. They're really out, and safe on the right path. Subhanallah. May Allah make us from Ashab al-Maymana. A beautiful contrast between this and the previous surah. In the previous surah we found, وَجِيءَ يَوْمَئِذٍ بِجَهَنَّمْ يَوْمَئِذٍ يَتَذَكَّرُ الْإِنسَانُ وَأَنَّ لَهُ الذِّكْرَى يَقُولُ يَا لَيْتَنِي قَدَّمْتُ لِحَيَاتِي فَيَوْمَئِذٍ لَا يُعَذِّبُ عَذَابَهُ أَحَدٌ وَلَا يُوثِقُ وَثَاقَهُ أَحَدٌ. And then يَا أَيَّتُهَا النَّفْسُ الْمُطْمَئِنَّةُ, meaning the people of hellfire were mentioned first and the people of paradise are mentioned second. In this surah what happens? The reverse. The people of hellfire are mentioned second, but the people of paradise are mentioned first. There's a reversal. Similarly, in the previous surah we found, in this surah rather, we found the yatim first and the miskin second. Yatim first and miskin second. In the previous surah we found miskin first and yatim second. So there's this flipping of sequences between this surah and the next. Also the end of that surah was Jannah. And the end of this surah is Nar, is hellfire, as we will see. Okay, so وَالَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا بِآيَاتِنَا هُمْ أَصْحَابُ الْمَشْأَمَةِ. And those who disbelieved in our miraculous signs, disbelieved in revelation. There was no discussion of revelation in the whole surah. Most of the surah was talking about Al-Aqaba, which was humanitarian work, and then just little mention of Iman. But then the root problem of all of this is what? Kufr bi-ayatillah. Disbelief in the miraculous signs of Allah. What are the ayat of Allah? The Quran. Kufr in Iman, kufr in the Quran means kufr in the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So actually now we are getting the definition of Iman in the previous surah. When you think of Iman, the first thing that comes to mind is Iman in Allah. Iman in Allah. But this surah is highlighting another Iman. Iman in the revelations of Allah. Iman in the revelations of Allah. Because the revelation of Allah is real guidance to solving the problems of humanity. That najdain, right? That guidance. So those who disbelieve in this guidance, they are in kufr.